Hey guys, it's Nina, and today I'm going to talk about finding the right book for you. So, as a bookworm, I sometimes find it hard to decide what I want to read next, or really what I want to grab for, like what kind of genre. What do I feel like reading? And throughout the years of reading books, I've found what I like most, and that continues to change. I feel like I'm going through a change right now, actually. While I was younger and I was a teenage girl, early 13 to 16, I was really into contemporary. And so now that I am a little bit older than that, I find myself kind of branching away from that. I don't find myself so lovey-dovey as I did when I was 13 to 16. I'm really getting into kind of thrilling things, but mysterious, magical things. You know what I mean? Maybe fantasy type things, and not necessarily love, but with a love interest inside of the stories, but just not focusing on that. I'm going to just give you a few tips of how to find what you're ready to read. So my first suggestion is, think about your age group. So tip number one, what's your age? If you're a younger girl or boy, I guess, if you're younger, you're probably going to read things that you're not going to reach for adult fiction. So you want to stay in the YA area. And I know that as a young girl, love was on my mind. I never had a boyfriend, but love was on my mind. And I wanted to read about all the cutesy loves. And I feel like that's what a lot of young teenage girls like to grab for, so that's probably where you're at reading wise. So I would suggest maybe try out contemporary, a lot of contemporary lovey-dovey romance books. That's a good place to start for that age group, but depending on that's totally biased opinion of what I liked. You might not be into that type of stuff. That's just kind of me generalizing most of the girls that age. If you're not into that, just find out what your age group is going to be targeted at, Number two is try different genres. Don't find one and decide that's all you're going to read. You want to mix it up some. Maybe one day try contemporary and the next day try a thriller, and then the next time go for a historical fiction. You don't really know what your favorite genre is until you try them all. And especially don't give up on a genre. So that's tip number three. Just because you read one book from a certain genre that you hated doesn't mean that you're gonna hate that genre. It's just that book wasn't your thing. So I know I've had trouble with historical fiction personally. I think one of the first books I read that was historical fiction was The Book Thief. And I'm gonna get hate. A lot of people love The Book Thief. I did not. I found it kind of hard to relate, I guess, and hard to kind of, when death is talking, it's what? I didn't like it. And so I didn't read historical fiction for a long time because of that. I was like, that's not my thing. I have tried a couple other books that are historical fiction, and I haven't really liked them, but I'm not ruling it out as a genre. I'm still gonna try in the future and read some historical fictions and find one that I like. But my advice to you is just because you read one in a certain genre that you did not like doesn't mean you're gonna hate every book that's like that. Maybe just that author wasn't for you, or the writing wasn't for you, or that storyline wasn't for you. So keep trying, keep finding new books. Number four is find recommendations on each category. So if you don't know what book you want to reach for, go to a library. So first of all, they're free to you, so you don't have to worry about, oh, I'm not going to like this book, so I just spent money on it. Go to a library, ask one of the librarians for recommendations in each category. If you're going to look for a thriller today, ask them for a recommendation for that. Another tip is, if there is a young librarian or someone around your age, ask that person, because they're going to be more in your reading range. I know the librarian that I see a lot and who's really close with me is a lot older than me, and her reading style is a lot different. So every time that she recommends a book to me, I end up not really liking it because I'm just not in that type of mindset yet, and it's a little over my head sometimes because it's a lot of adult stuff and a lot of nonfiction writing, and it just isn't my thing at this time of my life because I'm so young. It's just not what I'm ready for. You guys like my mug? Isn't it so damn cute? I love this. It's so fucking adorable. Okay, sorry. So, as you get older, your taste in books and writing is gonna change. Sometimes it will change dramatically. Sometimes it will change a little bit, and sometimes maybe it won't really change at all. Maybe you are a 30-year-old who still loves that lovey-dove contemporary. Like, it's okay. But I think you need to be aware of what you like and how your mindset is changing as you get older, and what you like to read is gonna differ. So just because you liked something that when you were 13 doesn't mean you're gonna like it when you're 20, and that shouldn't discourage you from reading again. I feel like that's happened to me. Like, I was really into contemporary. As I got older, I kept reading contemporary and I just didn't like it, and I was like, maybe reading is just not for me anymore. Maybe I'm like not into it, and I've gotten into a lot of reading slumps because of that, where I just don't read because I know I'm not gonna like that contemporary book, you know? So don't let that discourage you and dissuade you from reading. Just pick up something else, because you're not the same person you were when you were 13. And if you're 13, you're not the same person you were when you were 9. Like, your reading style is gonna change. What you like is gonna change, and that's great. Make sure you know how to change up your books to keep yourself interested and remain a good active bookworm. Alright guys, that's all I have for you today. I didn't really plan this out, so I'm sorry if that sucked. Have a wonderful day. Bye!